Hello and welcome back to the Success with Savita podcast, where we talk all things growth, mindset, business, and living your best life. I'm so glad you're here today listening to this episode. And first of all, thank you. And I'm going to be talking about a topic that I feel is often misunderstood, but incredibly powerful when done right, especially in this day and age. And that topic is how to build your network. Whether you're an entrepreneur, a corporate professional, a freelancer, or someone looking to grow personally and professionally, your network is your net worth. We've heard this everywhere. I sometimes question that. Is that really a statement? But I feel like today, where jobs, especially at the mid segment and senior levels, jobs are through people you know, through the connections that you have, even if you have all the skill sets. This is what I've been hearing from clients, from people, that even with all the skill sets, the experience, often the difference in getting and the job that you want, that you desire, happens to be about who you know, who can get you into the interview room and with the decision maker. So I question that, but I think in many different ways, it really does mean that it's part of, it will define a bit of your net worth, right? So, yeah, how to build your network. So, you heard that saying before, but today I want to break it down practically and what does it really mean to build a network. I've been thinking about this. I've been networking since I started my business. I assure you, I did zero networking before that. I didn't have the awareness, I didn't have the guidance, I wasn't reading enough, I didn't have the advice, I didn't have a mentor who told me to do all of this. And I had known better. I would have really invested in building my network and connections. And it would have helped me learn, grow, all of that. But since I started my business, I started doing it because I have to get leads. I have to grow my business. And over a period of time, I've understood how to do it better. I've understood where my shortcomings are, and I've understood where I'm not doing enough and how to do it right, how to do it authentically, and why does it matter so much for your career? Yes, corporate careers, business, and in life. So grab your coffee, your notebook, or let's settle in and let's get started. Why networking matters? So let's start with why networking matters. When I say networking, what comes to mind for you? For many people, it's awkward conference rooms, maybe business cards. I'm not sure about that, but some sections, it really depends on the context and where you are at. People have still asked me for a business card. I don't carry one anymore. Or connect with me on socials for small talk, sure. And of course, LinkedIn DMs from strangers selling something most annoying. But true networking isn't about collecting contacts, it's about building relationships. Your network is your support system, somewhat, your learning hub, yes, your opportunity gateway, of course, and your amplifier. The people you know can open doors for you and recommend you for roles, introduce you to clients, become your collaborators, mentors, advisors, and if you're lucky, friends. And in today's world where opportunities often come through referrals, having a strong and authentic network is priceless. Let's start with the mindset, shall we? The biggest mistake people make with networking is approaching it with a what can I get mentality, or if somebody is popular, oh, to just have name by, reflected glory from name association. True networking is about giving before you ask. Ask yourself, how can I add value to this person's life or work? How can I support them with their goals? How can I be genuinely curious about who they are? And it really takes some work, right? You have to go beyond the small talk, beyond that first meeting sometimes. People remember how you made them feel. If your only interaction is transactional, they will not want to engage. At the same time, your first interaction, if it isn't really meaningful or it's just simple small talk, and if it's with a big celeb, of course you're not going to be able to build a connection right immediately in the first conversation. However, in repeated conversations of people that you consciously want to build a network with, if you show up with warmth, curiosity, generosity, you become memorable and your network grows organically. Another mindset shift is this: you don't need to network only upwards. Peer networking, that is building relationships with people at your level or even those newer than you, is equally powerful. Your peers are the future leaders, founders, and decision makers. Treat everyone with equal respect and build authentic bonds without judging by current titles or status. Now, you may be wondering where to find and build your network. Where do I actually meet people? to build this network that you're speaking about, Sabita, but here are some practical ways. Not all may be right for you. You need to pick the one that resonates most with you, works for you, is easy for you. We don't want you to do anything that is complicated, way out of your comfort zone. Networking by itself is out of your comfort zone a bit, but when you have too much effort to be taken, sometimes it's not sustainable. So you want to do this sustainably. But here are some ways that you can meet other people and start to build a connection of sorts. Number one is your workplace. Start by deepening relationships where you are. Connect with colleagues across departments, join internal communities or social committees, attend town halls or company events, and introduce yourself to people you don't know yet. The second way is, of course, industry events and conferences. Sometimes your company will send you to one. Don't always wait for that. There are some interesting events. Buy a ticket and attend it yourself. These are classic for a reason, right? Attend with intention. Instead of trying to speak to everyone, identify maybe 3 to 5 people you'd love to meet if you know that they are also going to be there. Of course, you go to a large conference, you may not know anyone, but you can talk to a few people and then you may make a connection with one or two over there. Research these people that if you know somebody is already going to be there, then research them beforehand if possible and approach them with some specific questions about their work. Another one is, of course, professional online communities. There's LinkedIn groups, Slack communities, WhatsApp groups for your industry, Twitter spaces. There are so many ways to find these groups online. There's Meetup. There are different workshops that you can attend. These are all places where people gather to learn and connect. So be active there. Don't just lurk, comment, share insights, and engage with others' posts meaningfully. Then you have the alumni networks, your school, college, or previous organizations. If you don't have painful memories, if you had a good run at any of these institutions, or there are people that you may still want to go back and connect with, and there's previous organizations that you may have worked with that you may want to revisit, if you left it well, of course, they often have strong alumni network. Attend reunions or alumni sessions. Reach out to alumni on LinkedIn. You already have a shared connection point that makes it easier to start a conversation. Of course, you don't reach out after 10 years, don't even ask them how they are doing and then, jump into asking for something. That's a complete no. A lot of people reach out to me out of the blue and I haven't heard from them in ages. They don't even know if I've been alive or how I've been or what state I am in, but they will immediately ask me for a favor and I just don't do it at all. I'm pretty offended if somebody begins. I mean, if I can, I do, depends on what the ask is. But I'm pretty offended sometimes when people don't even ask you, how are you, and just dive into something, right? There are courses, workshops, and masterminds. This is another way. Investing in yourself by joining programs or masterminds brings you into proximity with growth minded people. Often, the relationships you build here become lifelong assets for collaboration and learning. And I've seen this happen within my own group programs, within my own masterminds that I run with my clients. They made friendships, they made connections, and then they've continued to stay in touch, which is amazing. Then, of course, socially, I think this maybe, I'm not sure how much professionally it helps. At some point, I'm sure they just still become a connection. There's volunteering for causes that you care about. And it not only fulfills your purpose, but also connects you with people who share your common values, which is grounds for a genuine connection. So that's another way to find people to connect with. Now, let's talk about what to actually say when you meet someone you want to connect with, right? Start with curiosity. Ask about them. If they're absolute strangers, obviously, what are you working on? How did you get started in this field? What do you enjoy most about your current role? What's a recent challenge? These are things that you can ask. Of course, it shouldn't be like an interview and it should be a natural progression in a conversation. People love to talk about themselves and their journey. Be a great listener, not just a talker. Don't dive in and say, hey, but you know what? I also had this experience. No, that doesn't work. And share about yourself in a way that is authentic and relevant to the conversation, not completely out of context, not making it about you, not making it about, you just building a connection. You don't need to sell yourself, just be yourself with intention. If you're connecting online, keep it brief. Maybe start with complimenting their work specifically. For example, I read your recent article on this topic. I loved your insight. What is that specific insight? I mean, spend some time to read it. Shouldn't just be fluff. I've been exploring similar ideas, maybe. Would love to connect and follow, maybe that kind of stuff. Avoid generic, let's connect to explore synergies kind of messages. God, I hate that. Be human, be warm, be specific. All right. The next one is the power of follow ups. Okay, you met them, you made the connection, you've done the work, you got connected, met at a common whatever event. Now what? This is where most people drop the ball. You meet someone, you have a great conversation, and then nothing. You ghosted. Relationships are built to consistent touch points over time. So after meeting someone, maybe send a thank you message within 24 hours or connect with them so they have immediate recall. If they shared something they're working on, follow up with a resource, an article, or an introduction you think might help them. Check in periodically, comment on their posts, congratulate them on achievements, or drop a simple hey, thought of you when I read this message. Don't let connections go cold, the ones that you want to develop, want to build on. Consistency is how you turn acquaintances into allies. And the next one is, remember, I spoke earlier about adding value. Here are some examples of giving before you ask them for anything, right? Share their work on your platforms and tag them. Introduce them to someone they might benefit from knowing. Offer your expertise if they're struggling with something that you know well. Simply amplify their voice by being an engaged supporter. That also could work. When you become someone who gives, people are more open to supporting you when you eventually ask, and your ask will feel authentic, not opportunistic, which is what you want to avoid, right? And as you build your network, you want to reflect periodically. Who are these 5 people that I spend the most time talking to? Who inspires me to grow? Who drains me or keeps me stagnant? Who do I admire? And how can I get into their orbit? Expand your circle with intention. Networking is not just about volume, it's never a volume game. Remember, it's a quality game. It's about intention. Actually, remove the word game. It's really about meaningful connection and intention. Curate your network like you would curate your life with purpose, integrity, vision. Finally, let's address fear. You might worry, what if they ignore me? What if I say the wrong thing? I'm introverted. Is networking really working for me? But here's the truth. Here's a fact, right? Everyone wants to be seen and heard. Even the most senior leaders are just people. Approach them respectfully and with curiosity, not fear. And if they ignore you, that's okay. Be okay with that. Not everybody is entitled to connect with you. You do your bit, and the world is a billion. There are billions of people out there. If the connection doesn't happen, it's not meant to be, move on. And it's just maybe the wrong time, wrong place. Maybe that person's going through something. It's really not about you. And for introverts, remember, networking isn't about being loud. It's about deep, meaningful conversations. You don't need to work the entire room like others maybe. Connecting with just one person meaningfully is enough to make an event worthwhile. So, there you have it. How to build your network with intention, authenticity, and generosity. Remember, networking is about relationships, not transactions. Be curious, be human, and give before you ask. Follow up and stay in touch consistently, and curate your network with purpose. I hope this episode leaves you feeling empowered to connect with new people this week. Just wake up, DM, get on it. Maybe set a small challenge for yourself. Reach out to someone you admire, introduce yourself to a colleague you don't know well, or reconnect with someone you haven't spoken to in a while. If you enjoyed this episode, as always, share it with a friend who wants to grow their network too. And don't forget to leave us a review and rating. I've had many insights recently about how, when you build your network, you're not just able to maybe ask for something for yourself, but it's also about helping your people, your community, people you can be a connector. Recently, someone asked me with somebody I had actually had on my podcast, sort of, and said, can you connect me to that person? But I just couldn't because I didn't have that level of equity relationship with that person. In fact, I didn't even know if I would send them a message, they would respond to that message because I didn't have that level of connection. And that's where I said, okay, it's not just about knowing and even having. These connections need to go deeper. Otherwise, it's meaningless because I can't help anybody else. And that's my next goal as I work on myself, as I build myself as a content creator, as I'm putting together this content to kind of build my own network, my own profile, my own influence, and have something of value that when I reach out to somebody, they will acknowledge and they would respect that ask, or they would respect me just getting in touch and say, hey, it's not even about respect. Acknowledge me and say and respond to it because they feel like I also have something meaningful to share. And I think that's something that's a personal reflection for me. But that's what I wanted to leave you with in this episode. And finally, if you enjoyed this episode, share it with a friend who wants to grow their network too. And don't forget to leave me a review or follow or rating. It really helps this podcast reach many more amazing listeners like you. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. Until next time, keep growing and glowing.